These people will help people out of hell. Hell is right here. And heaven is right here. You know, what you live here, okay, happens before you live it with everybody else, right? So heaven and hell are right here. And so what you accept and what you do is where you live, right? Now, there's labels given to us by professionals that constantly study other human beings and then label their behaviors, their patterns of behavior, the way they think, what they do, because of what they've accepted and what they've quote become. What they become is these labels that they're. And one of the worst is to get is a acute paranoid schizophrenic sociopsychopath, right? It's like the worst of all labels, right? A pedophile. Yeah. Acute paranoid schizophrenics, sociopsychopaths are the main cause of pedophiles because they're running around trying to control everything because it's their world. And they have to fix everything because they're perfect. Right? And their effects affect everybody. Okay. And John Davison Rockefeller, I'm sure God will bring prosperity to us again and stuff like that. It's prosperity, okay. God's omniscient and omnipotent, the essence of all existence. Okay. What is your perception of prosperity? If you understand the word God, you won't say things like that in front of people for make-believe money, right? You're an acute paranoid psychopathic schizophrenic then, right? When you're using God as a first person and telling everybody if we just do like I do, God will provide for us for prosperity, right? That's insane. You know, if you've read your Bible, Jesus doesn't say things like that. Jesus says, you know, forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace, share, care, given according to need, built to last. Get everybody together and have them do right, have them obey the natural laws provided by infinite glory for us to have an eternal existence through holy covenants, through marriages that mean something because people aren't manipulated by things that aren't real, that makes other people feel powerful, thinking they're controlling them by manipulating them, right? That's the kind of stuff Jesus talks about. Jesus is humble and intelligent. He's brilliant, right? All the people that talk about Jesus for money are not. All the people that talk to Jesus about money are not. They're like John Davison Rockefeller, right? And the Pope. And Vladimir Putin and the president, right? You get elected head of the acute paranoid schizophrenic psychopathic things and then, you know, we build a bomb, and if they try to take away the control of everything, which is manipulation, it's not control. Controlling yourself is not building a bomb and threatening to blow everybody up if you can't be in charge of everything because you're the best at being in charge, right? That's insane. Right. And then they get these scientists that break everything down to the most minute detail and tell you exactly when and where it's all going to happen, that you're all going to die, when you're going to get hit by that bus. And you're going to be wearing this watch, and then Jake Gyllenhaal's sister's going to bring you cookies, right? In the hospital, and everything's going to be okay. Right? Until the next sequel or prequel. Damn it, Scream again. Oh, make it stop. Right? I'm working on it. But I'm not M. Night Shyamalan's imagination. And assholes need more money in a Capital One bank commercial. And I'm like, fuck, this sucks, man. And then your own family, because they think you're saying you're God. They think you're acutely paranoid and schizophrenic. It's like, I don't ask Jesus for more money from the Rockefeller Foundation till I die and then go to a magic place that the Rockefeller Foundation uses from the Vatican to put in my head. Okay, acutely paranoid schizophrenia. Do you even know what acutely paranoid schizophrenia is? Can you explain acute paranoid schizophrenia to anybody? Do you understand? Acute paranoid schizophrenia is making up solutions like that. Acute paranoid schizophrenic psychopathic episode, Wonder Woman, 1984. Go watch that. Okay. None of that shit can happen. None of that shit will happen. None of that shit is happenable. That's paying money from the jobs, from your voting for president. Do you see him putting the rocks in Fort Knox? There you go. That's entertainment from acute paranoid schizophrenic. Yeah, John Wick, I need a gun. It's like the Ted moment. You didn't even have to wait. There it is. There's the Ted moment right there. Okay, but shit. Okay, it sucks, man. It sucks. And then when you're the only person on social media that's not affected radically by this, you'll get people, my own sons, both my sons, I hate being like you. Oh, you want to be like fucking Ted? You be John Wick. I get upset. I hate it when I see myself, in the mirror and stuff like that. When I see my dad in the mirror and me and my mom, okay, I do get insecure because my mom didn't feel attractive, comparing herself to other women, because my mom did not look like Nancy Wilson. Nancy Wilson is, gorgeous, but I'm sure Nancy Wilson had things that she looked at and wrinkles and it's just, and, because we're comparing ourselves to each other. Oh, Barbara Lynn is prettier than me. Loaf Lana's got a nicer body. Really? When you realize this woman is going to attempt to love you in this hell and have children with you in this hell, there's not a nicer body in the world than the woman who attempts to love you in this hell and have children with you in this world. You look at it, yeah, so okay, yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, yeah, it's okay. But she don't like me. She don't want to have kids with me. So she's physically desirable to the one that she likes and wants to have kids with, but she's not to me because she doesn't like me. She doesn't find me attractive. She doesn't want to have children with me. And you sit there and go, what's not attractive about the grace of Good Shepherd? So there's some bad brain activity. That's why I tell these women all the time, demand that they be like David, Solomon, and me, and not Offset and 50 Cent and, all those assholes that manipulate people with money. And you all voted for the Epstein files, and you all are the Epstein files, and you guys all, and it's horrible. You watch the news, man, they're more concerned about a multimillionaire propaganda person's mother being abused for money than they are about what's happening to the Messiah in New Mexico trying to stop the abuse for money, anonymously, LY. Okay. Now, if you're standing up and saying, that's Ralph Earl Parsons Jr., he's the Messiah, Jenna Bush's dad and mom know it, right? It's better than Harold and Kumar movies. Hell yeah, it is. Okay. And The Big Bang Theory, bet your Pemberton ass. Okay. And so, it's horrible. And I have to sit and watch TV. Find out, okay, looking for signs, your father who sees in private will reward you openly, right? Pray in private, and your father who sees in private will reward you openly, right? And David Rockefeller does. You do everything, the way the Rockefeller Foundation says does, and you are rewarded. You got lots of money. You're a sex icon. You're a genius. You win Nobel Prizes. You can get science projects, break everything down to the most minute detail. Tell us when we're all exactly going to bite the dust. Or ride the bus. Ooh, it's going to sit by you. Another one rides the bus. Right? So it sucks, right? If you don't think it sucks, you are so broken that the only thing in the world that can save you are the people abused by the technology the most intensely. It says in Shinto and Buddhist and Hindu prophecy that on this side of the world, okay, because they studied the genetics, and the genetics were kept more consistent through oppressive, horrible tribalism in India and China and Japan. Okay, oppressive, horrible tribalism. Thou shalt not have sex with people outside the group. They're barbarians, right? And so the marriages are arranged through aggressive tribalism. And in China, oh, we're so civilized. Yeah, Genghis Khan and the Great Wall of China and raping all the, it's so civilized, yeah. You're much more civilized than we Africans and Europeans and you know, the native people of Americo Vespucci's discovery. The Native Americans. It's funny. I'm a Native American. Really? How's your pizza? You want some linguine? You a Native American. Oh, okay. You're not a Native American. You're not Italian. You're not Italian. You're Dene. Okay. Yeah. In memory of Robert Redford, we just solved the mystery. Okay. La 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 mystery. What causes Alzheimer's? Brain injuries, intense psychotic brain injuries that are excessive and compulsive and recur over and over again. And they just snap. It happens in women more frequently than it does in men because they don't have the hemisphere and it just runs them over. And they forget about it. I'm your Noah, the Notebook, right? And then they make lots of money off sad stories about it and, snuggling in bed with a woman that used to be your wife before her brain was destroyed by economics. Ryan Gosling to James Garner. You get it? Oh, yeah. Assholes. I know what I'm dealing with. Trust me, I know what the fuck I'm dealing with. Okay, I've known this for, when I was a little kid, and it's wrong to kill Jesus to pay for your disgustingness. I saw it on the Lone Ranger and Tonto, and, and stuff. And so, yeah, I've known what I've been knowing, right? You only want to know what you need to know. Because if you know too much information, you become acute paranoid schizophrenic, and then you break everything down to the most detail, and you tell everybody exactly when we're going to die because of what we're doing to the planet. And, and then say it's natural progression. It's like, no, it's not. This is not, no. No, even Einstein was wrong about that. The sun is not naturally baking the earth. Don't you think that the dropping nuclear weapons and testing nuclear weapons has a little bit to do with it? Driving the cars and then building inefficient housing and then trying to keep yourself warm from exposure with, in an inefficient house has a lot to do with it. Don't you think building big glass buildings that go way up in the sky and it's harder to keep them warm for people to do slave labor in it in New York City? It's another rainy day. Don't you think that has a little bit to do with global warming there? As far as the sun baking the earth there? Because every 100,000 years we go into an ice age. For what reason? I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm not big enough of a genius yet. Everything keeps changing on me. I'm retarded. I talk too much to myself and don't have enough outside information from reliable choices of information to, oh, fuck, I'm going to keep pouring out schizophrenic. But you're a Nobel Prize winner. You got $1 million and everybody tells you you're a genius and wants you to break everything down to the most minute detail and then explain it to them in minute detail and then tell, oh, that's amazing. Just because you took it, just because some people don't understand it very well. And then invent gibberish in their head to survive what they don't understand and realize because they don't want to realize they're the cause of, oh, why did my wife get killed? Because you won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Why did my mom get kidnapped? Because you won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Why did my kid die from cancer? Because you won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Why'd you commit suicide? Cut, copy, paste. You don't hate me. You hate you. Well, I hate this guy. Why do you hate me? I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. You won't stand up for it. Don't you think you hate yourself a lot more than you hate me and Jesus and Muhammad? Think about it, stud. Who are you? Pope Leo or Pope Francis? Pope John Paul or Pope Asshole from the rasshole to the basshole to the crasshole? Hey, I need more money. Hey, we need more money to fuck. Oh, yeah, that's definitely the organization of Jesus and the apostles there. They're shining their light everywhere, into every bedroom that has a cell phone so it can be used for, masturbation instead of reproduction. Yeah, we don't want too many kids. We have to feed them. Yeah, it says that in the Quran that you should, and rabbinic tradition and Catholic tradition, how not to have too many children because you love your wife and your kids. And the more civilized you become, you understand exponential growth. Well, you think they'd understand that in the Bible and the Quran there, life being eternal, grace being infinite there. Okay, do you understand? Hey, Adrian, hey, just go sell drugs in Tulsa. Get out of my face. I'm going to knock the Rocky out of your Apollo Creed. I already did that. I know I did. I know what exceptional person I am. And I'm not exceptional. Because the rules, I'm not the exception to the rule. Jews rule in peace. Jerusalem. Okay, so I am not exceptional. I'm right. Let's say that correctly, because exceptional is comparing yourself to others, and they're acting like dogs, and I'm not a dog. I'm a man, and I love my dog, but my dog doesn't understand half the stuff that's going on because you guys act like animals. Told what to do by the head God who acts like an animal. I don't know. I gotta survive. But in your survival, you are causing your own problems. Can you manage your environment? Can you be a gracious good shepherd? When you hunt down these animals and they have to migrate away, and then you have to follow them and hunt them, then you have to change and adapt to your environment because you're forcing the change in the adapted environment. Now, animals are constantly going to be this way. But the better we keep the planet, the less migration will happen, right? But they're still going to eat each other, yes. You're not going to be able to stop cats from eating birds and birds from eating each other and eating cats. We'll just get rid of all the hawks. Okay, you're going to throw off nature completely because you don't want your cat to get eaten. I understand we can stop it from getting run over cars by forgiving debt and trespass and love one eternal faithful peace. But you're going to kill the hawk just to save your cat from getting eaten by the hawk because your cat doesn't want to stay inside because it wants to go out and eat the dove and the sparrow and the hummingbird. Can't you see your cat and the hawk are two peas in a pod? You sit there and go, okay, that's what when I saw that hawk go by and I said, okay, that makes sense. If Sly got caught by that hawk, how many birds over the last 17 years or so, well, how long have I been here? Well, with Sly, he was here about a year or two before that. But Sly, in the last, he caught some up near Ruidoso too, I'm sure. But in the last 17 or so years, I saw Sly running around with these birds. How many birds is he eating? So if a hawk ate him as he got older, it's humma pickle pie, right? That's the way I just looked at it. I'm not going to destroy nature to love nature to save 18-year-old Sly from getting eaten by a hawk. I tell Betsy to be careful. That's why you're out hunting, something else is hunting you. John Carpenter's Avatar, right? And so, but as human beings, big predatory animals avoid the shit out of us, right? But when you go out seeking adventure, you're going to realize, that, do not go hiking in Yellowstone with your girl from University of Wyoming or Utah State University and try to get busy in the tent. You're going to get mauled by a grizzly because human beings reproducing kills grizzlies for a long time. Mm-hmm. And if you're in a small group and don't have somebody with a gun to protect you, it's going to kill you. Well, 2 and 2 is 4. Life's eternal grace is infinite. I'm an excellent driver. Hey, look, there's an elk eating on campus, right? And welcome to Casper College. Okay, so you just have to just sit there and go, oh, discretion's the better part of adventure, right? Adventure, Robinson, Real Robinson, danger, right? Okay, so going out in space looking for a new place to live, isn't that like getting in a boat and going to Kentucky instead of being from Westminster Abbey? Right? Because, the assholes, but are you bringing the asshole with you, or are there already assholes there? Oh, yeah, there's assholes there. Yeah. And you're bringing assholes with you? Not always necessarily. Sometimes I can feel it in me bones, man. We're going to find that place where we can have good neighbors and be good neighbors. What if the biggest assholes they ever ran into were already there? We take whatever we fucking want. If you can't protect your wife from me coming and taking all your crops and raping her and killing all your kids, too damn bad. The noble savage, right? Don't listen to their propaganda and bullshit, okay? We are what we do. Heaven and hell, right here. Right here, okay? I was watching Dark Winds last night. Manuelito and Barboncito were pissed off. Man, they were pissed off. Mm-hmm. You get up to protect people from the Belagana's money and the murder over their money, okay? And they're pretending to be Danae for money. Barboncito and Manuelito are like fuming, right? I don't think they're going to tell the women. I'm not talking to the women. Don't talk to the women. You don't want to upset the women. They'll go all Emma Leaphorn. Nez is also a common Tootsie. Yeah, it's Tootsie. So the little girl, I think it's Tossie is how her name is spelled. It's hard to say. A lot of the words are hard for me to say, like Huston, which is the way you address an elder with respect. Host, host, the word host with O in Hostin. It's hard to say. It's guttural languages, and Tishna was real hard on me about that. One more time. No, harder from the gut. Galali. So let them know you care. Let them know I do care. It's hard. But I want a Coca-Cola, the red kind. I can say that right. I can say flat staff right. I can say flat staff right. I can say Coca-Cola, the red kind, and flat staff right. So the words by the Belagana, I can say good and dene. Yeah. I want a Coca-Cola, the red kind, and flat staff. Where are you going? I'm going flat staff. Okay, so yeah, I care. We all know Earl cares, right? If you don't know I care, you're just a self-centered asshole. Now pray to your God for relief from your self-centered assholism. I hate him. Why do you hate me? You won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me. Don't you think you hate you? What were we talking about? There's a Navajo person in there wanting to be free from the money of the Belagana, and you won't get up and do anything about it because you're lost in the memory of Robert Redford. Solving the mysteries, man. Yeah, I'm good at it. Only thing more pathetic than Indians watching Indians on TV is the Messiah talking to Indians that don't have TVs about TVs. It's pathetic, I know. God dang. When does it stop getting pathetic? I don't know, but I'll let you guys know the moment it don't. I'm working here. They insisted, talk to us, tell us what's going on. Okay. It's still happening. Okay. Are they going to share in the rapture? Are you going to poison me to death? You tell me. I don't know. You're the geniuses. You got it all figured out. You know exactly when the world's going to come to an end and the universe is going to come to an end. You've broken it down to the very quark. Where's my prize? To the bottom of a Cracker Jack box. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. What are you doing? Praying for the end of time. Okay. You're funny. I know, man. You bats out of hell. I love you. All right.